It was a bright, sunny day. Two school buses were packed with high school girls on a trip. Out of nowhere, a weird, evil wind blew through. The wind was so sharp it sliced the buses clean in half. Everyone inside got cut straight at the waist. Mitsuko was lucky. She had bent down to grab her pen and just barely dodged it. The bus slid a bit before stopping. Shaking and scared, Mitsuko realized she had to run. The wind was crazy strong. It even chopped down the power poles like nothing. She ran down the road, but the wind chased after her. Along the way, she saw 4 hikers. Mitsuko yelled at them to duck, but she was too late. She managed to tackle one girl down and save her, but the rest didn't make it. Soon after, a group of cyclists came riding by. Same thing, all sliced in half. To escape, Mitsuko rushed into the forest, but the place was full of more dead bodies, the upper halves of girls from another school, floating in a lake. The scene was terrifying. Mitsuko grabbed a fresh school uniform hanging on a tree branch and quickly changed. In a daze, she wandered into another high school. From the uniforms, it was clear this was the same school as the girls in the forest. Inside, everything looked normal, like nothing had happened. Her classmates greeted her warmly, even though they weren't supposed to know her. What shocked her more was seeing her friend Aki, who had been killed earlier, alive again. Aki looked at Mitsuko's wet hair and asked why it was strange. Mitsuko was just as confused. She wondered, "This isn't even our school. When did you get here?" Then another breeze blew through. Mitsuko ducked out of instinct, but nothing happened. Everyone looked at her funny. She started to wonder if everything earlier was just some nightmare. She told Akai about the dreamlike wind that cut everyone in half and chased her. Mitsuko pointed at the trees swaying outside, panicking. Aki stayed calm. She opened the window, held Mitsuko's hand, and let her feel the harmless breeze. Nothing happened. Mitsuko finally relaxed. Maybe it really was just a dream. She even felt like her memory was missing. If not for Aki, she wouldn't even know her own class. Besides Aki, Mitsuko also hung out with 2 other girls, Taiko and Sur. They called Mitsuko Sur too because she always did weird, surreal stuff. The 4 of them ditched first period and went to the woods. After hearing Mitsuko's story, Sur said there are endless parallel worlds, endless possibilities. That meant Mitsuko's dream really happened, just in another reality. Then they found blankets and pillows spread out in the leaves. Whether it made sense or not didn't matter. They started a pillow fight like kids on the bus. During the fight, Mitsuko cut her hand. At the same moment, she saw 2 girls far away, one in a school uniform, one in a wedding dress. A second later, they were gone. Sur picked up a pillow feather and said, "Where this feather falls is already decided." Life's weird. Don't overthink it. Do things before you even realize it. Like yelling in class, flipping every desk in the room, or right now, jumping into the river. Second period was about to start, so the girls jogged back. Watching Mitsuko's back, Sur muttered, "Don't lose to the surreal." Life is always surreal. If you can't handle it, you've already lost. In class, the teacher asked where they'd been. Aki lied and said she felt dizzy. The teacher believed her. Mitsuko noticed a pillow on the floor and tossed it at Aki. Out of nowhere, gunshots blasted. No one saw it coming. The teacher, who had just been writing on the board, snapped. She pulled out a giant machine gun and started firing at the whole class. Aki was hit over and over, dead instantly. The teacher yelled at Mitsuko again, demanding to know why she skipped class. She kept scolding her, calling her disobedient. In the middle of the chaos, Sur and Taiko grabbed Mitsuko and pulled her out of the classroom. The 3 of them hid in the science lab, but even that place wasn't safe. It felt like every teacher in the school had gone insane. To protect Mitsuko, Taiko sacrificed herself. Then, before Sur died, she gave Mitsuko one last reminder. "You gotta beat the surreal." Gunshots rang through the halls. The surviving students ran toward the school gates trying to escape. But the teacher's attacks grew worse. A girl running beside Mitsuko shouted, "Mitsuko, think! Figure this out! If you don't do something, we're all dead!" But before her voice even faded, the four girls running with Mitsuko were sliced in half by the evil wind. Mitsuko kept running until she reached town. She rushed into a police station, desperate for help. She was so tired she couldn't even talk, just breathing hard. She grabbed an officer and dragged her to the door, pointing toward the direction of the deadly wind. The officer stared at Mitsuko for a long time. Then her eyes lit up. "Wait, aren't you Ko? Why are you dressed like a schoolgirl?" Mitsuko froze. What the hell was happening? She looked in a mirror and realized her whole appearance had changed. She wasn't herself anymore. The officer told her they used to be classmates. Both of them were actually 25 years old now. Before Mitsuko could even process that, the officer added, "Today is your wedding day. You can't be late." Then she dragged Mitsuko into a patrol car and drove her to a chapel. Inside, Mitsuko saw Aki again. Even though Mitsuko looked different, Aki recognized her instantly. She leaned close and whispered, "No matter what name you use, today is your wedding day." Mitsuko wanted answers, but Aki told her it wasn't the right time. She warned her to stay quiet. "They're all watching us." But when Mitsuko looked around, there were only the two of them. Aki clearly knew more, but wasn't ready to explain. Then Aki revealed her crazy fighting skills. When a group of guests stormed in, she killed them all. Even the policewoman was kicked to death by her. Under Aki's lead, Mitsuko fought back too. After the battle, Aki handed her a broken bottle and told her to take it into the chapel. The wedding ceremony began. Mitsuko walked into the hall with the bottle in hand. At first, everything looked normal, but in a flash, the guests went insane, screaming, shouting, even ripping their clothes off. Then came the biggest shock: the groom. He was a pig-headed man standing inside a coffin. The guests pushed out a giant wedding cake and shouted for Mitsuko to kiss him. Of course, she refused. Instead, she stabbed the pig-headed groom in the neck with the bottle. Mitsuko snapped. She went on a rampage, slashing at the guests who couldn't get away. In the chaos, Aki appeared to grab her. But blocking the exit were the same two teachers who had massacred everyone at school. Luckily, Mitsuko and Aki had turned into skilled fighters. After a few intense rounds, they killed the teachers and escaped. Out on the streets, Mitsuko felt something chasing them. Aki told her to run ahead while she stayed behind to fight. Mitsuko kept running until she came across a girl who greeted her mid-run. Turns out the girl was in a marathon. Confused, Mitsuko joined in and realized her form had changed again. This time she had become Isumi, a marathon runner. Her teammates told her, "Don't look back. Keep your eyes on the road." Then one of them said something strange. "Mitsuko, you're not thinking about anything, right? We're your running partners. We've been running with you since way back. Remember elementary school? You were faster than us. You even won first place." Mitsuko didn't remember any of it, but with their encouragement, she started accepting this new identity. She ran hard toward the finish line. Soon she saw Sur, Taiko, and Aki again, but behind them came the killers and the pig-headed man. Aki and the others stayed behind to hold them off. Mitsuko climbed a slope and reached another part of the racetrack. At the end of the road, she found an old brick kiln. There, she met a schoolgirl who led her to a group of dead students. Smiling, the girl asked her, "Can you die?" "As long as you stay alive, everyone else here will die. You should just die." The girl pulled out a knife, grabbed Mitsuko's hair, and screamed, "It's all your fault! Everyone's dead because of you!" Just as the blade was about to fall, Aki appeared and struck the girl down. She grabbed Mitsuko and pulled her through the crowd of corpses. The dead students just stood there, not moving, not exploding, just silent. As they neared the exit, Aki told Mitsuko to keep repeating her own name. Slowly, Mitsuko started regaining her memories. She found her true self again, returning to her original form. When Mitsuko finally calmed down, Aki reached out her hands. Under her skin, she revealed wires buried deep inside. Aki told Mitsuko straight up, "This world you're in, it ain't real. It's all fake. But only you can break out because you're the main one here. If you don't find the exit, you'll stay trapped forever, dying over and over. The only way out is through me. Rip me open." Mitsuko didn't want to, but in the end she listened. She pulled the wires out of Aki's body and Aki split in half. A hole opened up where she stood. Mitsuko stepped through it. She passed through a kitchen and ended up in a back alley. A bunch of shady guys were standing there, staring at a poster on the wall. The poster showed 3 girls, Mitsuko, Ko, and Asumi. That's when it hit her. This whole world was just a game. Everyone else was just NPCs. She was the only real one. Then a sharp-looking young man showed up. He asked her, "Don't you remember me? Not even my name? I can't believe you made it here." He told her, "This world ain't the same one you used to live in." Mitsuko couldn't understand. Her head spun, her vision went dark, and she fainted. When she woke up, she was back inside the abandoned, brick kiln. On the walls were girls in school uniforms, wedding dresses, and marathon gear. All the different forms she had taken in this game. At the far end sat an old man with long white hair playing a video game. On the screen were the very scenes Mitsuko had just lived. He turned to her and dropped the bomb. "You're in the future now. 150 years ago, I knew you at school. After you died, I took your DNA, and your friends too, and used it to make clones for this game." Then he revealed his sick truth. His biggest wish was to sleep with her. This final stage of the game had been built just for that. The young man from earlier appeared again. Turns out he was just the younger version of the old man. He stripped down, laid on a bed, and beckoned Mitsuko to join him, while the old man urged her on. But Mitsuko remembered Sur's words. "Life is surreal. Don't let it mess with you." Instead of giving in, she fought back. She ripped open a pillow and smothered the young man with it, feathers flying everywhere. Then she grabbed the old man's cane and stabbed herself in the chest. At the same time, Ko stabbed herself with a broken bottle, and Asumi ended her life in her own world. These weren't acts of weakness. They were their final rebellion against being controlled. In the end, Mitsuko woke up alone in a snowy field. Nobody else around. She ran forward into the distance, finally free from the game.